Okay, I'm gonna do video 2. Hi. Welcome to my channel. Am I gonna need to turn this light on? I think I am. What time is it? 6:47. No, I think I'll be okay. It's just a little cloudy. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another episode of this Piscean Reports. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are having a great day, great afternoon, great evening. For those of you new to my channel, welcome aboard. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so I was just sitting here chatting, chatting with my peeps, I guess, my weirdo fucking peeps. Sorry. Anyway, and I was just thinking about talking about the chosen seed, and I wanted to kind of talk about that for a little bit, just a little bit. Try to make this one short. So I just keep coming back to that. I feel like there are people who are just like, how I know people know what it means to be a chosen seed, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you're incarnated into this lifetime, you are chosen. You're chosen, but many are chosen and only a few decide to answer their calling, answer the call. Why am I here? What did you want me to do? You know what I mean? But we are all chosen. Okay, we're here for a reason. There's things that we have to do. There's things that we're supposed to do, and I wanted to talk about that whole thing of being chosen. A lot of people think that if you're chosen, it's a grand thing, that it's a big thing, and I want to, but they, you might see yourself as kind of small, like, I'm not chosen. Chosen seeds or they have these great, calling on their life, and they do these great things and these wonderful things. But what you don't know and what you don't recognize is that the chosen seed do both big things and little things. Okay, but what's interesting is the things that you think are little are actually so grand and so great and so, amazing, borderline miraculous, and you might not even look at it and see it in that way. And what I mean by that, now, a lot of you guys, here's the deal: you're going to be chosen, but not everybody's mission is you think when you hear chosen, you think, oh gosh, I'm going to do something great, and you are. But here's the thing: let's say you've gone through life and you said, I must not be chosen. Look at me. I'm just sitting here. I'm just living life. And I'm just, I got these kids and I got this life and I'm not doing anything with it. But here's the thing. If you are a woman, let's say you're that woman and you're like, I'm not chosen. I'm nobody special. I just got these kids and I'm just raising them. And I'm just, what? That is your mission. You know what I mean? It is your mission to, and this is why I say a lot of those young mothers need to really look at that. Think about that. If you've got you were blessed with a child, that's your mission. Your mission, along with your, the father as well. If you're lucky enough for you guys to stay together, then that's even better. But, it doesn't mean that two people can't, raise up a chosen seed to go on and do something amazing. Okay, but just raising a child, the example that comes to mind, I said this last summer. Consider the mother of, what is that man's name? He's the one, whoever invented the World Wide Web. Okay, when this woman gave birth to this child, she did not say, "Oh my gosh, I'm blessed, blessed am I among all the mothers in the land. You know, my son is gonna invent the web, and he's gonna be that one because I gave birth to him, because I took care of him, I clothed him, I fed him, I kept him healthy, I kept him strong, I encouraged anything that he wanted to do, you know, and because I did that, he went on to do this great thing, this grand thing. My son invented the World Wide Web, and now because of that, the whole world sees each other." Do you see what I mean? I don't think she has any clue how important her mission was. And a lot of you guys don't either. You're thinking, "I'm just raising these kids." You don't know what your kids are going to be. You don't know what your kids are going to do. You know, they may grow up and do something amazing, or they may be because you came in and you raised up this person who is then going to give birth to someone who does something amazing. Do you know what I mean? So, not all missions are as grand as you think, but at the same time, it is. Okay, the chosen seed if it wasn't for you guys doing the tiniest of things, this bigger thing couldn't happen. So everybody, that's why I say everybody we're all here. We've all incarnated into this lifetime to do something great. You are either going to give birth to that next person who does that next great thing, or you yourself are going to be the one who does that next great thing. It's unbelievable. Is unbelievable. If everybody really thought about that, like, oh my God, you know, you would want to raise your child up more. You would want to pour more love in them because, oh my God, my son or my daughter is going to be that next great one. They're going to do that next great thing, you know. And I gave birth to my daughter, and she had a son, and for all I know, her son is going to be that one who grows up and does that next great thing, you know. And that's something and I hope that she kind of, which is why I was but anyway. But yes, so you guys, you get it. You know, the chosen seeds missions are not always just this grand, you know, where you become a superstar, and because you're a superstar, you affect the world in such a way. You know, the moms who gave birth to John, Paul, George, and Ringo, did they ever think that their sons would grow up and make music that became the music of an entire generation? You know what I'm saying? It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. All right, the chosen. All of you guys have a mission, and all of you guys have a purpose. Okay, and some of you, it may not be grand. You know, the mother who gave birth to Shaq, who went on to do these great things. You know, when she was raising them up, it was so hard. You know, she's struggling to put food in her children's mouths and keep clothes on her big boy. But she didn't know her son would go on and, you know, dominate the NBA in such a way. Same thing with Michael Jordan's mom. Did she ever think, or Dennis Rodman, or Steph Curry, or, you know, you just think you just have this child and I gotta go to work and I gotta make this money and I gotta pay these bills, but kind of look at it in a bigger way. You know, maybe you will enjoy going to work more. Maybe you will enjoy, you know, it's not easy raising children. I know. I struggled. You know, and I you know, and I know I'm a lot of moms out there who are like, you know, this is crap, you know, like why am I, you know, it feels almost burdensome, you know, like especially if you're a single mom, it can be hard and it can be you know, you have those moments of despair, you know, but you know, had I had that mindset back then, which is what I want to implant in you guys now, if I had that mindset back then, like, man, you know, yeah, it's struggle, it's hard, but it's gonna make a difference somehow, some way later on down the road. You know, either my children are gonna go on and do something great, or they're gonna give birth to somebody who does something great, or something, you know. If we looked at things in those ways, it would be a lot easier. The burden, as hard as it is, would be a lot more easier to bear, knowing, and in those moments of despair, turn to the Most High. If you need to cry at the end of the day, you struggled and cried, but it's okay. It's going to be all right. Turn to your guides, your angels. I need help. Help me to pay these bills. Help me to do this, and allow them to show up in your world. And that also makes it easier too. I wish I had been more spirit filled back then, but I wasn't. But I can advise you guys to certainly learn from my mistake. Be more spirit filled. Things go a lot better since I have been since my awakening. Life is a lot more. It's easier to handle, as far as any of the struggles that I've had. It helped to be able to know that yes, they are there. They are with you. They're guiding you. You're not alone. You're not alone. So just, man, know that if you incarnated into this world, you are chosen. All right, but you gotta trust. Number one, you gotta trust and know that not every mission is gonna be big. Some of our missions are gonna be small, but ultimately it's small, kind of, sorta, raising kids. But at the end of the day, because you raised up someone, they're going to turn around and do something amazing, and you're going to be like, oh my God, oh my God, who knew my child was going to do this, or who knew my child was going to invent that, and who knew. So just kind of look at things in that way. The chosen seed, your missions could be great, and it could be not even small, because no mission is small. If you're chosen, no mission is small. It just comes across that way. No, there's no fanfare and balloons and streamers and all of that good stuff, but it doesn't make it any less important. It's not easy wiping little bottoms and constantly changing diapers and milking and raising and paying bills and it. You know what I mean? But look at it this way. This is what you signed up for. Okay, this is what I incarnated into his lifetime. I agreed to this. On the other side, I agreed to incarnate into this lifetime and do these things. And okay, let me do this. Let's just do this. Look at it that way. All right. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of do a little thing. Let me see, is there anything else that I want to add to that as far as being chosen? That not every mission is great. It is, and it, you just might think it's not, but ultimately it really is. No mission, if you're here, no mission is small, is small. It's important. The tiniest things have importance. You might think it's not, but it is. I'm going to go raise my son up. I'm going to, teach him right from wrong. Put food on the table. Strengthen his body. Strengthen his mind. Strengthen his spirit. And then watch what they go out into the world and do. Or they're going to do something, or they're going to get married, and then they're going to be that one who has that next one. And the same way that John Osteen had his parents not incarnated into this lifetime, they had to experience all this hardship. But had they not gotten together, John wouldn't have been there, right? And if John wouldn't have been there, Joe would have been there. And and Mrs. Osteen, Victoria Osteen, had her parents not showed up and been here, then they would not have been able to do that, and then they would not have been this power couple and done these things. And same thing with you guys. Had your parents not incarnated into this lifetime, you wouldn't be here to do that next great thing. So just it's all how you look at it. But know that everybody's chosen. Everybody has a mission, and no mission is too small. Okay? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and go. I hope you liked it. I hope you got it. I hope it helps. And if you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe. I always hate that part of it because it feels like begging. But on the other hand, I'm very grateful if you're hearing me, if you're listening the right way, then I appreciate you guys showing up on my channel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay. You guys mean a lot to me. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go. I know there's a majority that aren't. But anyway, focusing on you. I'm going to focus on you. All right. I hope you liked the message. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go. I will see you guys next time on the next video. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.